For over 20 years, the Atlantic Mayors Congress has provided a forum for exchanging ideas and a unified voice for municipal leaders in Atlantic Canada. The Summerside edition has a particular focus on addressing housing and homelessness, with sessions engaging community, provincial, and national perspectives.
I'm Alan Dale with Gale Force Winds, and I want to tell you, it's great here as we wind down day 2 of the Atlantic Mayors Congress. Great conversations, great collaboration, people sharing ideas. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
So my name is Gregor. I'm Business Development Manager for a company called Colliers Project Leaders, a national company that supports predominantly public sector clients and a lot of municipalities in their infrastructure projects. So we're doing everything from electric ferries and buses to housing and long-term care, water, wastewater, a lot of Indigenous projects from coast to coast to coast.
From coast to coast to coast.
Coast to coast to coast.
What are you seeing here in Atlantic Canada? What do you see the big opportunities here?
So as a company, we're doing a lot of long-term care right now. The province of Nova Scotia particularly has created a large program of long-term care, healthcare in general. We get the major projects in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, has some big projects here on Prince Edward Island. We're helping with the mental health and addiction campus through the Department of Health. Transit's a big area, okay. And it's an area that I have a particular kind of interest and focus on. We're decarbonizing our fleets. Right now, our main focus is on electrification, EV buses. We're doing the Milko Ferry project in Halifax along with their zero-emission bus, and we're supporting a number of communities across the country. I'm interested in the evolution of that as we, are able to see advances in hydrogen and new types of hybrid systems. Hydrogen has been kind of assessed and in the past maybe kind of sidelined just because of the cost of the infrastructure and the cost then of the actual fuel. But now Atlantic Canada is becoming this hub of wind hydrogen,
right.
And we're starting to see rumblings and stirrings of local offtake agreements and the utilization of capacities in the local economy kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're in a couple of years having conversations around other types of decarbonized fleet transformations.
Right. Yeah.
And the conversations we're having is okay. Atlantic Canada is actually a little ahead of the curve. I think in some cases, you got cities like St. John and Halifax and Sydney Cape Breton that are kind of already down the path. Others are kind of kicking the can, small steps. But to be prepared for the funding, you need to have your business case, you need to have your feasibility.
Right.
So whether you are on board with the technology as it is right now, you live in a city that's really hilly and you're worried about the amount of energy or lack of energy in an EV system, looking at systems that could be right solutions for you and getting that stuff done now ahead of the money that's coming to support those kind of things, right?
And putting the policies and stuff in place to allow these things to unfold.
Well, and understanding the transformation that these things, like diesel buses are one thing. Like we've been doing combustion engines for over 100 years. Yeah. We know how they break down. We know how to take them off the side of the road. We know how to put out fire. There's a whole different level of technology. There's change management. There's also opportunity, right? The amount of data that comes with the introduction of these new systems, that because you need to have real-time data in terms of the charge of the battery and all that kind of stuff. This is data that I think will help transform fleet management and route management and help better understand and optimize technology, whatever it is that you end up having.
You're so right. It comes with a tremendous amount of opportunity. It seems to me like you've got a great global perspective on things.
I'm passionate about it. Yeah.
Give me, a win that you're seeing right now in the moment. One good win that's happening as we speak.
One good win in what context? Like from us as a company,
from
or
as a company,
within this sector? Well, again, we're supporting more and more of these fleet transformation projects across the country.
Okay.
Something I'm particularly passionate about. The Milko Ferry project, as someone Newfoundlander living in Halifax, that project. That's exciting stuff. It's One of the things that I'm really excited about, there's a lot of talk here about collaboration between different levels of government. And Nova Scotia, recently they formed the Joint Regional Transportation Authority, and we kind of help with the governance of that. But, this unique concept that not just your main urban center, but the other connected communities in that connected transportation corridor, prime corridor, and the provincial government are together, looking at long-term planning and projects and coordination and collaboration. We have to see more of that, and I think once we do, then the infrastructure deficit that we have across the country, particularly here in Atlantic Canada, as we face climate change or whatever, that's the only way we're going to be able to. We got to spend that money wisely. We got to, we got to use data. We got to, develop the infrastructure that is required. Not just for the day, but we got to future-proof it for next generation too, right? So.
Certainly appreciate your perspective, and thank you very much for being on the show.
No, thank you. I really appreciate the time.
For over 20 years, the Atlantic Mayors Congress has provided a forum for exchanging ideas and a unified voice for municipal leaders in Atlantic Canada. The Summerside edition has a particular focus on addressing housing and homelessness, with sessions engaging community, provincial, and national perspectives.